Minister is saying it's an issue of interpretation, then we totally agree with him. But it is also the reason why he is incorrect. A cursory, I suppose, elementary understanding of statutory interpretation would have assisted the minister in this regard. What is going on, Thabo, here is that the minister has found what he believes is a loophole in legislation, which allows him to circumvent, bypass, undermine the transformation laws of this country. Now, if indeed it's a matter of difference in interpretation, the minister has absolutely no powers in law to then seek to enforce a rule that he himself is saying that is misunderstood. We believe in the sanctity of the doctrine of separation of powers. And if the minister needs assurance that what he's doing is correct, then he should. And I think any rational and reasonable person would approach the courts for a declaratory order that says that he may interpret the law in the way that he wants. Alternatively, which is what we have said to him in Parliament, as well as ICASA, the independent regulator. If he wants to amend the law, he must not do it by stealth. He must not run away from due process. He must approach Parliament with an amendment to the law, and that discussion will unfold at that particular point in time.
What is the misinterpretation here? He's of the view that sector codes, which were put in place by DTI back in 2016 already, they make provision for equity equivalent. Because they foresee that there are particular companies, to use the minister's word, that may not want to seize 30% of ownership, or just the company structure does not allow for that to happen. And so even the ANC recognizes, he says, that those companies should be able to seek another pathway to participate within the space.
Thabo, he's obfuscating. The law is very clear. You see the difference between the equity equivalent investment programs that he's referring to, the EIPs, and the law that governs the licensing of satellite operators, of anybody who seeks a communication network services, are two totally different pieces of legislation. Now, while the EIPs exist in the sector, for example, you have the likes of IBM, Microsoft, and so forth who operate under EIPs. Those companies are original equipment manufacturers. They don't need a network license. If you want to provide services such as Starlink, then the law, which is the Electronic Communications Act, is very explicit that you need to have a minimum of 30% equity ownership by historically disadvantaged groups. The minister now wants to say that no, we need to align, and this is why I'm saying he's just obfuscating, because what he wants to say is that no, let's align it with BEE. It's not in sync with the codes, and we're saying you may have a point, as undesirable as it is.